Om Shuklam Varadaram Vishnu Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarvavighnopashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishaje Bhavarogina Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananamayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavad Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Shri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham Sadguru Charanarvindabhyan Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. So, in Vivekachudamani, we are analyzing the Mahavakyam. What is the Mahavakyam? Tattvamasi. Tat, whenever in Vedanta, the word Tat appears, Tat means that. Whenever in Vedanta, the word Tat, that appears, it refers to Brahman. Not only in Vedanta, in any traditional texts, the word Tat appears. Tasmai Namaha, we say in Lalita Sahasranama as well. Even there, Bhaskararaya gives Bhashyam as Brahman. So Tat, that means Brahman. Tvam, the Jiva. The Guru says, Tat Tvam Asi. You are that Brahma Vastu. Hey Sishya, you are that Brahma Vastu, says Guru to the Sishya. And how does the Sishya understands that Vakyam? The Sishya understands the same Vakyam as, not as again Tattvamasi. If the Guru says Tattvamasi, and if the Sishya also says Tattvamasi, then he is teaching back to the Guru. Then he will say, hey Guru, you are that Brahman. Guru already knows that. Only because Guru knows the Guru is Brahman, he can say that with confidence, hey Sishya, you are also Brahman. So, the Sishya understands the same Mahavakyam as Aham Brahmasmi, Aham I, Brahma, Brahman, Asmi, I am that Brahman. The Sishya also understands. Now, we have a question. What is the question we have? Hey, I am a very, very small person. Okay, I am a limited person. I am an Alpagnya. I am an Anitya Vastu because I have a date of birth, and even if I don't like it, I have an expiry date. So, I am a limited person. This is called as Kala Parichinna, limitation by time. I also have spatial limitation. How much ever fat I become, I cannot encompass the entire galaxy. I can only encompass maybe 2 seats on my aeroplane seat. In the aeroplane, if I become so fat, I can occupy 2 seats at the same time. But I cannot be present everywhere at the same time. So I am also have Desha Parichinna, limitation. Desha Parichinna, limitation with respect to space. Kala Parichinna, limitation with respect to time. I am Anityam. That means limitation with respect to time. I am Alpaha, limitation with respect to space. But what is Bhagavan? Bhagavan, Lalita Sahasranama says, Deshakala Parichinna, Deshakala Aparichinna. She is not limited by any space. She is not limited by any time. Nityaiva sa Jaganmurtihi Taya Sarvam Idam Tatam, says Devi Mahatmyam. Nityaiva sa Jaganmurtihi. Jaganmurtihi sa Nityaeva. Nityaeva. Ambal is present at all the time. In fact, Taya Sarvam Idam Tatam. Only because of Ambal, all these things exist, says Devi Mahatmyam. I did Devi Mahatmyam Parayanam today morning, saying Nityaiva sa Jaganmurtihi Taya Sarvam Idam Tatam. I chanted Lalita Sahasranamam today evening, saying Deshakala Parichinna Sarvaga Sarvamohini. Now in Vedanta class, you say, if the Guru says, Tat Tvam Asi, you are that Brahman, how can I understand? I have a very, very big law. I have a very big mental inhibition to understand that statement. Whether I accept the statement or not, it is another Riya. It is another question. Even for understanding the statement, I cannot understand. That is the problem that we have. So here, Acharya says, Sanlaksha Chinmatrataya Sadatmanoho Akhanda Bhavaha Parichiyate Budhaihi Evam Mahavakya Shatena Katyate Brahmatmano Raikyam Akhanda Bhavaha. Okay. You think you have a lot of limitations. We define the limitations as upadhi. We define the limitations as upadhi or superimpositions. I have my body as my superimposition because I superimpose myself into this body. I think I operate through the body, and I think I am this body. So body, Panchakosha Shariram, this body which is made up of Panchakosha, it is my upadhi. What is the upadhi of Bhagavan? This entire Jagat, the Maya Shakti is the upadhi of Bhagavan. Only because of Maya Shakti, Bhagavan appears as the entire universe. Only because of my avidya, only whenever we have avidya, in a localized, an individual avidya, an individual ignorance is called as avidya. For Bhagavan, we don't call it as avidya. For Bhagavan, we call it as Maya. Basically, both are same. Avidya and Maya, they are only the same. But on an individual level, we call it as avidya. On a global level, we call it as Maya. So if we remove avidya and Maya from myself and Bhagavan respectively, whatever that remains, I see both are the same. Yes, you have different, you are different from Bhagavan. You have several differences from Bhagavan. But what does Vedanta Shastra say is that difference is not real. That difference that you think that are present between you and Bhagavan, Shastra say that difference is not real. When the difference is not real, then the two vastus, myself and Bhagavan, should be the same. Right? That is what here Acharya says. Okay, the wise, budhaihi, parichiyate budhaihi. Budhaihi means buddhiman. The wise person, what does a wise person should do? The wise person should give up the contradictory elements. Should give up the contradictory elements that are present in himself and Bhagavan. I am an alpagnya. I don't know. I don't even know the spelling of the word omniscient. But Bhagavan is sarvagnya. He is omniscient. I am an anitya. Bhagavan is nitya. Aham alpaha. Bhagavan is sarvaha. I am a very poor person. Bhagavan is very, very rich person. We have all these difference. If we give, what differentiate between you and God, we can write pages and pages and pages of differences between ourselves and Bhagavan. But here, the wise person should understand that all those differences are not real. All those differences are only perceived difference. But vastutaha, myself and Bhagavan are the same. Brahman and Atman are the same. Akhanda bhavaha parichiyate budhaihi. Why should he do that? Evam mahavakya shatena kathyate. Normally we think only mahavakyams as 4. If you ask anybody, okay, anybody who has known little bit of who's spiritual. Who is spiritual? Okay, what are Mahavakyas? They only say there are 4 Mahavakyas. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, Ayamatma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. But Shastra says, okay, those 4 are famous Mahavakyas, but there are many Mahavakyas. Here, Acharya says, Mahavakya Shatena Katyate. Shata literally means 100. But in Sanskritam grammar, whenever the word is Shata and Sahasra comes, Shata means 100, Sahasra means 1000. Whenever the word Shata Sahasra comes, it means infinite. Abdin eduthukano. Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishwato Vritva Atyatishtaddhashangulam, says Purusha Suktam. Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha, that Purusha has got 1000 heads. Sahasraksha, the Purusha has got 1000 eyes. Sahasrapat, the Purusha has got 1000 legs. என்னடா அது வேதத்துக்கு கணக்கு தெரியலையா? 100 தலை இருந்தா 200 கண்ணு இருக்கணுமே, 200 கால் இருக்கணுமே. If a person has got 1000 heads, then there should be 2000 eyes and 2000 legs. But the Vedas only say Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasrakshaha Sahasrapat. Meaning what? There the word Sahasra means infinite. Again here, Evam Mahavakya Shatena Kathyate means hundreds of Mahavakyas say the same thing. What is that? What does Mahavakya say? Aham Brahmasmi in one language or the other. Because what did we define Mahavakyams as? Mahavakyams are those statements from Vedas that says Jivatma and Paramatma are one and the same. Those things are called as Mahavakyas. And please don't think there are only 4 Mahavakyas. There are many Mahavakyas. We lost many portions of Vedas are completely lost. Whatever the portion that we have, even in that portion, there are many Mahavakyas. So that's why here Acharya says, Eham evam Mahavakya Shatena Katyate Brahma Atmanoho Aikyam Akhanda Bhavaha. The Mahavakya says Brahma Atmanoha Aikyaha. Brahman Atmanaha self. Aikyaha, the unity. There are 1000 Mahavakyas that declare the unity between Brahman and Atman. So that is how we should understand. We cannot take things in a literal sense. We have to, just like how in the last class we said, we have to negate all the differences as mithya, as unreal, and then we have to accept the truth, which is Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi. So from this shloka, all the shlokas, from this shloka, about 10-15 shlokas, Acharya is going to say is to talk about meditation. What is our attitude in meditation? How should we meditate? It is $1 million question. There are many people who have many different ideas about meditation. There are many people who have many different ideas about meditation. But all those meditations, Vedanta does not accept. There is a meditation that is told in Vedanta. We only accept that type of meditation. The other type of meditation will help. There is absolutely no question about it. There is absolutely no question about the efficacy of other yogic meditation, Vipassana meditation, mindfulness meditation. There are traditional meditations, there are new meditation, oneness meditation. We have no problems with all those meditations. Only we say all those meditations cannot give you jnana. Those meditations is not going to give you Atma Jnana. For Atma Jnana, it is this meditation which is told in Vivekachudamani has to be followed. Okay. First, before going into these shlokas proper, let us see some common misconceptions about meditation. One of the common misconception about meditation, again, people, this is the problem for people who are Vedantic students, people who have spent 10 years, 15 years studying Vedanta. These are the mistakes that they are doing. So I'm just going to tell you the problems and I'm going to tell you how to resolve those problems as well. So meditation, dhyana. So whenever I say meditation or dhyana, it is the dhyana yoga that is said in Bhagavad Gita. It is the dhyanam that is said in Vedanta. So Vedantic meditation, we are not talking about upasana meditation. Upasana meditation is different. Upasana, ஒரு பகவானை எடுத்துன்னா அந்த பகவானுக்கு பண்ணி தியானம் பண்ணிட்டே இருக்கிறது upasana meditation. We are not talking about worship meditation. We are talking about Vedantic meditation. That has to be clear. So meditation is not a source of knowledge. That has to be clear first. Meditation is not a source of knowledge. Source of knowledge. What is source of knowledge? Source of knowledge means that from which I get a new knowledge. That from which I get to know something which I was not aware of before. Vivekachudamani class is a source of knowledge because we have not heard about Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi before. And after coming to Vivekachudamani class, you learn about Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi Vedanta Mahavakya. So Vivekachudamani class is a source of knowledge. I sit in meditation. I want some guru to come in meditation and teach me Aham Brahmasmi or Tattvamasi. That is not going to happen. If you want knowledge, it has to be obtained from a guru. You cannot get self-knowledge, self-study. Vedanta does not work that way. Tadvitti pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha, says Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Hey Arjuna, tat vidhi pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya. If you want to know about Atma Jnana, you have to go to a guru. Tat vidhi means no. What is your attitude towards that guru? Pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya. Fall at the feet of that guru. Pranipadena, namaskaram panne. Pariprashnena, ask the guru a lot of questions. Even in Vivekachudamani, we are seeing lot of questions are asked by the Sishya. So our culture does not look down upon people who ask questions. In fact, if we see any Upanishad, the first mantra of that Upanishad is going to be in the form of a question. The Sishya will ask the Guru, hey Guru, please teach me about Brahman. Hey Guru, what is that one thing? Kasminna bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavati. What is that one thing by knowing which I get the knowledge of everything around me? So asking questions is very, 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 very important in our tradition. Tadvitti pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya. Prashnena means asking questions. And sevaya, you have to do guru seva to that guru. You have to do sishrusha to that guru. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarsinaha. To what type of guru? The guru should himself be a jnani. An ajnani guru cannot properly convey the proper jnana to the Sishya. So the guru himself should be a jnani and tattvadarsinaha. He should be a tattvadarshan. He should be a realized soul. So asking from a guru is the prime source of knowledge according to Vedanta. Even according to Upanishads. There is some Upanishad. It says, Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat samitpanihi tad vijñārtam sa gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtham. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat. Here brahmanaha does not mean a jati brahmana. It means that person who wants to know about Brahman. that Brahmanishtha, that Jignasu, that Mumukshu, that person who wants to know about Brahman, he has to examine this universe, says that Upanishads. Pariksha Lokan, he has to examine this universe and he understands that, okay, there is a problem with this universe. I don't know what is that solution. Can I take Upanishad book and read? No, don't take Upanishad book and read. What is that Upanishad says? Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedamayat tatvijnartam sa gurumeva abhigachet. If you want to know what is the problem with this universe, if you want to know what is the solution for that problem, going on to meditation is not going to help. Doing self-study will not help. Gurumeva abhigachet. Go to a proper guru. How to go to a proper guru? So Gurumeva abhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. You have to go to a guru with samit, because those days people do lot of yajnams. So samit will help for all those yajnams. Samitpanihi. Don't go to a guru empty-handed. Go to the guru with some kind of karnike. It does not mean money. Some sisrusha, some some service you do to the guru. Samitpanihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Again, the conditions for the gurus also said Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He should be a learned guru. Shrotriyaha. He should also be a Brahmanishta. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So, only from a guru you can get to this Vedantic knowledge. You can never get Vedantic knowledge by doing meditation. That is the first thing. I have a problem. If I want to know the solution for that problem, going into meditation does not going to help me. I have to ask to those people who have already solved the problems. Because appada ava yerkanave solve pannirka, those people will tell, okay, this is how you should solve this problem. This is how you should not approach this problem. So that is point number 1. Meditation is not source of knowledge. Point number 2. Meditation will not give you Brahman experience. This is what a lot of people want. I go to meditation. I have been practicing meditation for 5 years. I finished 10 Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, etc. I practice meditation for 5 years. All I want is just one moment. I want to have the vision of that Brahman. 10 வருஷம் உபனிஷத் கேட்டு யூஸே இல்லைன்னு அர்த்தம். Because Brahman can never be experienced. Brahman is the very experiencer. I can never be experienced. In fact, Adi Shankaracharya says in his Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam or in his Upanishad Bhashyam, anything that you experience, it is unreal. In fact, he tells it in a very interesting way. The whole world is unreal. Why? The Shishya asks. Because you experience it. Normally, what do we say? The whole world is real. Why? Because I experience the world. This cell phone in front of me is a real one. Why? Because I can see the cell phone. The light in front of me is real. I don't say it is mithya. I don't say it is unreal. Why? Because I can see the light. That is how we think, right? Adi Shankaracharya says the whole world that is present in front of you is unreal. The Shishya asks why? Because you experience the whole world. So, we can never get the experience of Brahman. Atma Anubhavam. You will never get. In fact, if you get any experience in meditation, 100% be assured that that is not Brahman. Again, I'm saying all these things are about Vedantic meditation. I sit in meditation, some Bhagavan comes and gives Kachi to me in my meditation. I get a vision of a Bhagavan. I get a vision of Kali. I get a vision of Lalita Parameshwari. Those things are real. But what we say is that is again Sopadika Brahman. Again, Brahman with that Upadhi, you can never get a Brahman vision in your meditation, for the meditator himself is Brahman. Meditator himself, because the meditator himself is Brahman, he cannot get another vision of Brahman, because how much ever you work, a camera can never be in the picture. You know, if you go to a room, you take a picture. Everything that is present inside the room will come into the picture except for the camera, because camera is the very experiencer. In the same way, Brahman is the experiencer. Brahman is the meditator who does the meditation. So Brahman can never be meditated upon. So whatever meditation that we do, it is not going to give you a new knowledge. It is not going to give you a vision of Brahman. Then why should I do that meditation? Okay, if I accept that, okay, meditation is not going to give me any new knowledge, meditation is also not going to give me a glimpse of Brahman, then what is the prayojanam for meditation? Why should I do meditation? And what should I do in meditation? What is actual meditation and why should I do meditation? We have to see that now. What should I do in meditation? In meditation, what we have to do is to relive the jnanam that we have obtained in the classes. Is to relive the jnanam, is to re-assimilate the jnanam, re-assimilate the knowledge which we have obtained from the Guru. That is what we should do in meditation. Okay, Aham Brahmasmi is the jnanam that I obtained in my class. So in the meditation, while doing dhyana, we have to do the dhyanam of Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Mere chanting of Aham Brahmasmi is not enough, but we have to understand the meaning of Aham Brahmasmi and we have to keep on dwelling in that meaning. Just like how when we make a gulab jamun, the moment you put that gulab jamun into the sugar syrup, the sugar syrup will not go into that gulab jamun. I fry gulab jamun, I put that gulab jamun into the sugar syrup. 1 second I keep it and then I take it out. If I eat that gulab jamun, will it be sweet? No. Only the outside of gulab jamun is going to be sweet, but the sugar syrup has not penetrated inside that gulab jamun. The gulab jamun itself is not sweet. It has got sweetness on the outside. In the same way, whatever the jnanam that we get during the classroom, whatever the jnanam that we get from a guru, it is like that sugar syrup. And I come and I sit in that sugar syrup. If I go out of the sugar syrup, the sugar has not gotten into me. I have gotten into the sugar syrup, but that sugar syrup has not gotten into me. What should the gulab jamun do if it want to be sweet? The gulab jamun has to spend some time on the sugar syrup. The gulab jamun has to dwell in the sugar syrup for it to imbibe the sweetness, right? In the same way, for a sadhaka who wants to get full maximum benefit out of Vedanta, he has to dwell in that Vedantic teaching. And the dwelling the meditation. Vedantic meditation is nothing but dwelling upon the knowledge which we have received from Guru and Shastra, so that that knowledge gets inside me. I get inside the knowledge. If I get inside the classroom, I will be surrounded by that knowledge. You know, when Guru teaches, you can hear. But for the knowledge to go inside me, I need to do dhyanam. Dhyanam is nothing but repeated. Dhyanam is nothing but repeatedly dwelling upon that knowledge. The more I dwell in the knowledge, the more knowledge I soak up. In the same way, The more time the gulab jamun remains in the sugar syrup, the more sugar the gulab jamun is going to soak up, right? In the same way, the more time I dwell in the knowledge, the more knowledge that I'm going to soak up, and I become, the gulab jamun becomes sweet. In the same way, you yourself are going to become the embodiment of knowledge, so that you can reap the maximum benefit out of that knowledge. That is the prayojanam of dhyana yoga. That is why we have to be very, very careful in understanding dhyana yoga, in practicing dhyana yoga. Again, when I say dhyana yoga, here it only means Vedantic meditation. Other types of meditation definitely help. They help you to concentrate your mind. They help you in order to increase your mantra shakti. They help you in order to get a glance of your favorite deity. We are not rejecting that. All we are saying is that all these meditations cannot give you Atma Jnanam. Only Vedantic meditation, again, meditation, any type of meditation cannot give you Atma Jnanam. Only Vedantic meditation will help you to imbibe this knowledge. Okay, with that background, let us see what are the meditations that Acharya is going to say. Again, here we are not going to learn anything new. Whatever that we wanted to learn, we have already learnt. Panchakosham, Shariratrayam, Moondru Gunangal, all the other things. Tattvamasi, in fact, the subject matter of Vivekachudamani is over now. 500 shloka irukku. Now we are in shloka number 250. So we have crossed the peak. But all these shlokas are needed in order to do proper meditation. So jnanam that we have already gotten. Now we are going to spend some time in the jnana so that we can soak up the jnana. So that is what we are going to do in this part of Vivekachudamani. Okay, how should I meditate? So here, each and every shloka we can meditate upon for hours together. I'm going to give you the meaning of the shloka, but what we have to do is spend time on these shlokas. Slowly start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, and then initially what should we do? We have to spend some time on meditation, but slowly what we have to do? We have to make the meditation as the central part of our life. Meditation again does not mean sitting in one place and thinking about this thing. Yes, that is meditation initially, but then later, just like how Tambura Shruti goes, whatever the song the singer is singing, at the back of the stage, there is going to be a Shruti box or a Tambura where there will be a constant Shruti. In the same way, in the concert of our life, whatever the actions that we do, all the actions has to be backed up by the Vedantic Tambura Shruti. That is these meditation, that is these shlokas that are going to come in Vivekachudamani. Okay, what is here? He is going to say, Astula mityedat asannirasya siddham swato vyomavada pratarkyam ato mrishamatra pratitam jahihi yastvatmataya grihitam brahmaham ityeva vishuddha buddhya siddhisvamatmanam akhanda bodham. Again, very, very easy to understand. What is, here what does Acharya says? Astulam iti etat asannirasya. Astulam, because our body is stula sharira. Our body is a panchakosha vilekshan. I know, shariratrayam. Stula sharira, sukshma sharira, karana sharira. We saw in Vivekachudamani. And we also saw that all these three shariras are not our real self. The stula sharira is not me. Sukshma sharira is not me. Karana sharira is not me. I am something which is present beyond these three shariras. அப்படின்னு நம்ம சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? அதான் இங்க சொல்றார். Astulam, I am not a sthulam. Astulam iti etat asannirasya siddham swataha. One has to meditate upon these Shruti Vakyams that says, you are not this Thula Shariram, etc. And one has to discard all these non-self things that are normally associated with me. I start from things that are present outside my body, and then I'm going to slowly work my way inside my body. First, I think this house is me. First, I think I am so attached to the house I live in. If something happens to the house, I am going to feel the pain. Okay, I am not the house. Then I have my circle of friends. I have my circle of family. I have to slowly discard. Again, it is a mental process. Please do not do it as a physical process. நாளையிலிருந்து நீ எனக்கு அம்மா இல்ல, நீ எனக்கு அப்பா இல்ல, நீ எனக்கு கொண்டாட்டி இல்ல, நீ எனக்கு புருஷன் இல்லைன்னு சொல்லி குரு தான் சொன்னாருன்னு ஏன் தலையை உருட்டப்படாது. It is going to be a mental process. Slowly dissociate yourself from all the external entities, at least for the time being where you are going to meditate. At least for the time being, at least for the time of meditation, slowly dissociate yourself from the external objects and then come to your body. Okay, I am this body. This is going to be even a harder process to do, because from, right from this Janma, I have always associated myself to this body. If this body is pain, then I feel the pain. If this body enjoys pleasure, then I enjoy pleasure. So I have so much time I have spent with my body. So if something that is going to happen to this body, I am going to feel the pain, right? Because of the association with this body. Slowly we have to dissociate ourselves from this body as well. Again, it is not a physical process of dissociation. It is only a mental process of dissociation. Slowly I am going to withdraw myself from this Panchakosha. I am going to withdraw myself from this Shariratrayam. I am going to understand that this body is just incidental on me. I am not this body, but I am incidentally present inside this body. So one has to slowly but constantly dissociate from this Thula Sharira, etc. And one has to realize the self. Siddham swato vyomavat apratarkyam. Just like how the space is unattached. The space, I'm not talking about the air, but I'm talking about the space. The space, it is enclosed within a pot. We call it as a pot space. The space which is enclosed within my house, I'm going to call that as a house space. A pot space is smaller. A house space is bigger. But when a pot is broken, the space inside the pot is not going to be broken. When I demolish the house, the space inside the house, it is not going to be demolished. The space is going to exist. The pot and the house, they exist in the space. What do we think initially? Initially, we think that the space exists within the pot. Initially, we think that the space exists within this house. But what is actually true? Space does not exist within the pot, but rather it is the pot that exists within the space. It is house that exists within the space and not the otherwise. Whatever that happens to the pot, whatever that happens to the house, it is not going to affect the space which is present inside the pot or the house. Adhan inga solrar vyomavat. Just like how the space is pure, just like how the space is unattached, in the same way the self Atman is unattached, Atman is pure. With that purified understanding, with what purified understanding? Jahihi yat swatmataya grihitam Brahmahamityeva Vishuddha Buddhya, with clarified understanding. Vishuddha Buddhya abdin podrar, not even an iota of avidya, with pure buddhi, with pure intellect, we have to understand that Brahma Aham. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that unconditioned Brahman. My real nature is not to operate within the body, but this body operates within myself. Just like how a pot does not have the space inside, but the pot itself is present inside the space. In the same way, I am not present inside the body, but this body is present inside me. Not only this body, every other body that is present in this universe, it is present inside me. அப்படிங்கிற knowledge வச்சுண்டு வித்தி ஸ்வாத்மானம் Akhanda Bodham. Know the real self. Vidhi means know. Know the real self as Swatmanam, as Akhanda Bodham. Unlimited knowledge or absolute knowledge. So again, as I said before, we are not going to learn anything new in the shloka. Whatever the concept that we have seen in the shloka, we have already seen before. But again, here Acharya presents these shlokas in a form which is easy to memorize. And when we are doing meditation, we can easily chant the shloka so that, okay, what are we going to do next in my meditation? We don't have to look for ideas while we are meditating. These ideas are already with us when we just chant the shlokas with the proper understanding. Eppadi oru taila dharela, when people do Vasordhara Homa, the ghee will be falling as one single stream without any interruption. In the same way, Shastra says our thoughts should also be like that ghee stream without any interruption in our meditation, says the Shastra. So all these shlokas from this shloka 250, they are going to help us in order to get that unrestrained, undisturbed flow of thoughts that we have to have during our meditation. With this shloka, we will finish today's class. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thanks a lot. Next class பார்க்கலாம். Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.